with our warm up. All right, so let's start with a nice easy march. Lift the chest, try to pull your shoulder blades back. Now, if you notice that your chin or shoulders are coming forward, just gently pull everything back. And welcome if you're just jumping in. We are going to be doing a bodyweight strength workout today. I would recommend having a yoga mat, towel, or kneeling pad nearby. And let's take it into a chest opener. Pull the shoulder blades back and together, breathing through it. If you don't have a kneeling pad at home, this is a great time of year to look for one. Many of the gardening sections of local stores like Dollarama will have kneeling pads specifically for gardening, and they're great for your home workouts. Let's go into a reach. Reach it up nice and high, lifting up, extending through those fingertips, breathing deeply, and stretch it out. Let's get nice and warm through that upper body. We're going to be working a lot of the postural muscles of the back and shoulders today. So let's get nice and warm and reach across, a little lower here. Adding that toe tap, extending through the arm, stretching through the back of that shoulder. Breathe through this. That's it. 2 more. And back to a march. Let's do some shoulder rolls here, pulling back and down. Again, if you find your shoulders slumping forward or your chin coming forward, lift the chest, roll the shoulder blades back. 1 more here. Feet shoulder width apart, place your fingertips just behind your ears. Pull the elbows back, and we're going to hinge forward from the hips, keeping the chest pushed out, fold forward, and back up. Nice big stretch in those hamstrings, fold forward. Exhale and up. Try to keep your weight distributed to your heels. Your toes may lift slightly off the floor. That is fine, as long as you feel balanced. Inhale, try to pull those elbows back if they're creeping forward. Exhale. Breathing deeply. 1 more. And shake it out. We're going to go first with an Arnold press. Now in this move, you can add some small dumbbells to this if you like, or follow me with the body weight movement, palms facing in, upper arm parallel to the floor, chest lifted. We're going to pull, push, pull, push. So we're going back, up, down, in. Ready? Let's go for 8. Pull, push, down, in, pull, push, down, in. Squeeze the shoulder blades back and together and make those muscles of the upper back and shoulders work through that postural challenge, keeping that chest lifted. Breathing deeply. 2 more here. 2 and 1. Press it up, down, release the shoulders. From here, widen your stance. Toes slightly flared, hands on the hips. We're going to go into another hip hinge, just like our previous warm-up movement. We're going to hinge from the hips. And then as we come up in this one, we're going to squeeze the butt cheeks at the top of the movement. And then back down into that hip hinge, up and squeeze the butt cheeks. So try to pull the shoulders back, gentle bend in the knees. Let's go for 8. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze the glutes. Inhale, stretch them out. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, exhale, squeeze. So at the top of the movement, when you come up to that upright position, be sure to squeeze through those glutes, bracing through the core. 3 more here. Stretch and contract. 2 left. And contract through those muscles. 1 more. And squeeze. We're going to take this into a lunge. So we're going to step back with the right foot, forward with the left. And we're going to begin with our hands just behind our head, so low to the bottom of your skull. Lift the chest, pull the elbows back. We're going to sink down into a lunge while simultaneously extending those elbows into a Y. Back up. Let's go for 8 here. Ready? Sink down. 8 into that Y. 7. And we're not rushing through these. We're going to go nice and slow. 6. Keep that chest lifted. Bring your back knee down until the shin is parallel to the floor. Breathing through it. You've got this. Feel the core muscles engage as you extend into that Y. You'll probably notice your abdominals kick in and shake it out. Over to the other side. Right foot forward, left leg back. Fingertips to the base of the skull, elbows back, chest lifted. Let's go for 8. Extend and back. Extend and back. That's it. Brace through the trunk, keeping your belly button pulled in toward the spine, working through the postural muscles of the upper back as you extend those elbows, but also working through the quads, glutes, and hamstrings. One more. Breathe through it. Ooh, all right, shake it out. Going back to the top, Arnold press. Bring those palms in, chest lifted. Let's go for another 8. Pull, push, down, back to the middle. Pull, push, down, back to the middle. Squeeze through those shoulders. It's a push-pull movement. On the press, try to pull your palms and elbows back slightly so that the range of motion for your shoulders is quite challenging. Feel those postural muscles kicking in. Breathing through this. One more round. Pull, push, down, release the shoulders. Let's take it to another wide hip hinge. Toes flared, weight on the heels, just a soft bend in the knees, and hands on the hips. Roll the shoulders back to lift the chest. Let's hip hinge for 8. Fold forward, squeeze the glutes. Fold forward, squeeze the glutes. A nice big stretch in the hamstrings. Try to drive your heels into the floor as you hinge forward from the hips. And as you come to the upright position, really squeeze through those glutes to contract. And release. 2 more. Exhale. 1 left. And back to lunges. So lunge variation. So for this move, back with the right, forward with the left. Place your fingertips just behind your ears. Hold the elbows back. And this time we're going to keep those hands in place for a prisoner hold. Ready? Let's lower down into the lunge. 8. And up. 7. And up. Oftentimes with lunges, we try to rush through them. I know they're not everyone's favorite exercise. However, a slow, controlled lunge will increase the time under tension for the quads. So we're going to get a little bit more muscle contraction rather than springing back up quickly. And release the shoulders. Bring the other leg forward. So right leg forward, left leg back. Hands at the base of the skull, elbows back, chest lifted. And let's go for 8. Inhale, exhale. But we're also keeping balance involved when we slow our lunges down. So we've got a little bit of that core work happening to stabilize through the trunk. Inhale, exhale. 2 more. Elbows back. Try to prevent them from creeping forward. 1 more. Whew. All right, shake it out. 1 more round here. Arnold press. Bring those palms in. Lift the chest. Let's go for 8. Pull, push, down, release. Pull, push, down, release. That's it. Breathe evenly and really squeeze through those muscles of the upper back and shoulders. Exhale. Inhale. That's it. Breathing through it. We've got 1 more. And release the shoulders. 1 more round of our hip hinge. Wide stance, hands on the hips, shoulders back, chin back. Let's hip hinge forward. Here we go for 8 reps. Up and squeeze the glutes. As you squeeze, try to pull your butt cheeks together, allowing tension to build, and then hinge forward, shifting the weight to the heels to ensure that we're getting that nice big stretch in those hamstrings. We've got 2 more. 2, 1 left here. 1 last set of lunges. Regular stationary lunge, right leg back, left leg forward. From here, shoulders back, chin back, hands on the hips. Let's sink down into our lunge here. 8, breathing deeply. 7, try to stay as steady as you can, but keep in mind that in a lunge, you can always use the back of a chair or the back of a couch for a little bit of support if you find balance is a challenge. Breathe through this. We've got one more. And shake it out. Over to the left leg back, right leg forward, lift the chest, pull the shoulder blades back, and let's go for 8. 8. Remember to sink the knee down so that the back shin is parallel to the floor. Try to keep the shoulders back. Oftentimes in a lunge, we tend to lean forward from the shoulders. So we're trying to stay upright through the chest. One more. And, woo. All right, shake it out. Grab a water break here, catch a breather. We're gonna go to our next round. Bent over tees. For this move, if you have a light pair of dumbbells, feel free to add dumbbells to this movement. If not, no problem, I'm going body weight. So feet shoulder width apart. Turn your palms up if you're doing body weight. If you're holding dumbbells, facing in. Fold forward from the hips. And we're going to lead with the thumbs, pulling up, squeezing the shoulder blades together, back down. Back should be flat and chest pushed out. Let's go for 10. Pull, squeeze the shoulder blades, and release. Exhale. Pull, squeeze the shoulder blades, and release. Breathing through this. Pull. Imagine that you are driving your thumbs up toward the ceiling, and at the top of the movement, imagine that there's a pop can between your shoulder blades, and every time you lift up, crush it. 2 more. 2. 1 left here. 1. Ooh, all right, we're gonna take it into a shrug. Let those arms hang down, chest lifted, chin back. We're going to shrug up, pulling the shoulder blades up toward the ears. And then we're actively going to push the clavicle down, depressing the shoulders down toward the floor. So it's not just a relaxation, it's an active press. All right, let's go for 8. Breathe, and then push. Pull, and push. That's it. It's an elevation and depression of the clavicle. Keep working through this. Inhale, exhale. We've got 2 more. Inhale, exhale. 1 left. Actively pulling up and pushing down. And release those shoulders. We're going to take it into a squat. As you know, one of my favorite squatting moves, the pulse squat. So for this, we're going to go into a wide stance with our toes flared. We're going to double squat in a pulse and back up. Let's go for 10. Ready? Here we go. Squat down, pulse, up. Squat down, pulse, up. In the pulse, try to keep your weight shifted to your heels and push your chest out. You can use your arms for balance, however you like. I always like to have a little bit of an arm swing that feels fairly natural to me, but you can also have your hands on your hips or at your chest, whatever feels right for you. 3 more here. Inhale, exhale. That's it. 2. 1 more here. 1, and shake it out. Go back to our bent over tees. Feet shoulder width apart. Dumbbells or palms up. Chest pushed out. Let's go for 10. 10. Now with this movement, you can have an open palm or a closed palm. It's really up to you, whatever feels right for you. But I do like that thumb facing up. I find that really helps to visualize lifting those thumbs, pushing them up toward the ceiling as you pull your shoulder blades back and together. 2 more. Exhale. 2. 1 left here. 1. And release. Shrugs. Feet shoulder width apart. Let those arms hang down. Let's go into our pull. Pull up and press down. Pull up and press down. And remember, it's an active pull and an active push. So you really feel the whole clavicle moving here. Lift up, squeeze those traps, and back down. Now the traps are a kite-shaped muscle that runs from the base of your neck down to the middle of the spine. And this movement will really help to target those upper trap muscles around the base of the neck. And release. We're going back to squats. On this variation of our squat, we are going to go nice and wide again. From here, we're going to raise an arm. So hands in the center, chest lifted, knees slightly bent. Let's squat. Right arm comes up, left arm comes up, and then out of that squat. Squat down, right, left, and up. Squat, right, left, and up. Try to lift the arm as high as you can so that you feel the back of the shoulder blade engage on the lift. Try to pull your belly button in with the chest pushed out. This movement should be fairly challenging for your postural muscles in your upper back and your shoulders. Last one here. And whew. All right, gently lift up out of it. One more round. Bent over tees, feet shoulder width apart. Hold forward, palms up or with dumbbells, chest pushed out. Let's go. 10. Again, an open palm or a closed palm, whatever feels right for you. Exhale, pull. Inhale, release. Squeeze through the shoulder blades. And remember, that shoulder blade retraction is the king of any back or rear delt exercise, the back of the shoulder blades. That squeeze and release is the most important part of our upper back movement. One more here. And lower it down. We've got back, one more set of shrugs for upper back and shoulders. Lift the chest. Let's pull up. Ready? Up and then push down. Pull up and push down. We're going for 8 here. Breathing through this. Exhale. Inhale. You've got it. Remember, it's an active pull, an active push. 2 more. Squeeze, release. 1 more here. Squeeze and release. All right, we're going back to our squats. Regular pulses this time. Single pulses, but we're going to double up our reps. We're going for 20. So nice wide stance, shoulders back, chest pushed out. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. You've got it. 4, 5, 6. Stay low. Breathe through this. Push from the heels and keep your chest pushed out. Stay as low as you can in that squat. And we've got 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. All right, shake it out. Grab a water break, catch a breather, and we'll go to our next round. Up next, we've got a lat pull down, another back movement. So for this movement, we're going to start with our palms facing up, shoulders set back. Now with the palms, they're facing out at the top of the movement. It's an explosive pull, keeping the elbows in and slightly pulling back and down. On the pull, there's a rotation of the palms, so they're facing in. Let's go for 10 reps. Chest lifted, chin back. Here we go. 10, 9. When you pull, squeeze the shoulder blades back and together. That's it. Breathing through it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And shake it out. We're gonna go back to another hip hinge, focusing on those hamstrings. And in this movement, we're going to do one side at a time. We're going to step back slightly with the right leg, forward with the left. So the toe, the back toe is aligned with the front foot arch. And from here, we're going to place the fingertips just behind the ears. We're going to hinge forward, getting a stretch in the hamstring, and back up. Let's go for 6 per leg. Here we go. Inhale, exhale. Try to drive your heels into the floor. Again, if the toes slightly lift, that is okay as long as you feel balanced. Inhale, exhale. So we're really focusing on that forward leg, getting the stretch in the hamstring, which is the back of the thigh, and release. Over to the other side. Left foot back, right leg forward, hands behind the ears. 6 reps. Here we go. Hinge from the hips. 6. Again, we're focusing on that forward leg. So there's a little bit more of a bend in the back leg knee, whereas the front leg knee will be slightly straighter. 2 more here. 2, 1 left, 1. Whew. All right, we're going to take this into a shoulder variation. Our first movement is going to be a bent over Y. So another bent over position. Start with your palms facing in, arms extended, thumbs up, shoulder height. Try to push your chest out. We're going to raise up next to the ears and back down. Let's go for 8. 8, breathing deeply. 7. Now you will feel the lower back engage in this movement. In that forward folded position, there's a little bit of lower back endurance required to hold that forward fold. 2 more. Try to pull your abdominals in to support the lower back. 1 left. And shake it out. Return to upright. We're going back to our lat pull down. Arms up, palms out. Lift the chest, squeeze the shoulders back. And let's go for 8. Here we go. Or 10. 10. That's it. 9. Again, there's a rotation of the palms. Exhale. Inhale as you lift back up. 4 more. 4. 3. Squeeze those arms back. 2. And 1. Whew. All right, shake out those shoulders. We're going back to legs. So once again, we're staggering the feet. Right leg slightly forward, left leg slightly back. Fingertips behind the ears, lift the chest, pull the elbows back, and let's go for 6. Hinge forward. 6. Breathing through it. 5. Remember to press your heels into the floor. And again, you can have a soft knee bend. And that knee bend on the back leg will be slightly larger than in the forward leg. 1 more here. And release. Over to the other side. So we're walking left leg forward, right leg back, chest lifted. Here we go. Hinge from the hips. 6. Breathing through it. 5. Try to push your chest out. And remember, shifting the weight to the heels can really wake up those hamstrings, really get that stretch for you. 2 more. 2. And 1. Another shoulder variation here. From here, we're going to take this into X's. So bringing our fingertips together with the right palm just slightly higher, we're going to pull in an X or half of an X, switch over to the other half, and squeeze those shoulder blades back. Let's go for 10. Ready? 10. Switch arms. 9. As you pull, squeeze those shoulder blades back and together, really focusing on the upper back. Breathing through it. 4 more. 4. 3. 2. 1. All right, one last round. Lat pull downs. So 10 reps, feet shoulder width apart, arms up, shoulders back. Let's go for 10. 10. Remember, there's that rotation of the palms. Pull the elbows in and keep the chest lifted. That's it. 5 more. 5. 4. Soft knee bend. 3. 2. 1. All right, shake up those shoulders. We're going back to our staggered stance. So right leg slightly back, left leg forward, fingertips behind the ears, chest lifted, and let's hinge for 6. Here we go. 6. Drive those heels into the floor. 5. Really push your butt cheeks back. 4. That's it. Breathing deeply. 3. You've got this. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. And switch legs. Left leg comes back. Right leg slightly forward. Lift the chest. Elbows back. Here we go for 6. 6. Really wake up that hamstring. Remember, you're driving the heel into the floor and then pushing back up. That's it. Drive your glutes backwards. 2 more. 2. 1 left here. 1. All right, last one for shoulders here. We're going to go into a straight arm pullback. Once again, we are going to fold forward, this time with our hands hanging down, palms facing in. Push the chest out. We're going to pull the arms straight back, squeezing through the shoulder blades and releasing. Let's go for 10. Exhale. 10. As you pull your hands back, try to keep your chest pushed out, but think about squeezing through the mid-back before breathing the hands back down. So have a brief pause at the top and then lower. Pause at the top, squeezing, 4 more. Keep the chest pushed out, back flat. There's a slight rotation in that backward motion to get that squeeze. 1 more. And release. Shake out those shoulders. We are next going to take it down to our mat. So once again, mat, towel, or kneeling pad. So get set up here. Once you've got your water, we're going to come to a seated position. And sit however is comfortable for you, either cross-legged or with your legs extended out. If sitting on the floor is uncomfortable for you, these movements could also be performed on a chair. So if postural issues are a little bit challenging, go ahead and sit on your couch or on a chair, whatever's comfortable. All right, let's sit up tall. Imagine that there's a string pulling your chest up toward the ceiling, and begin with the elbows at 90 degrees, palms facing out. We're going to press up and slightly in, and then inhale and back down. Let's go for 10. Try to keep your palms back and keep your chest lifted. So exhale, inhale. So you're always pulling your shoulder blades backwards in this movement, even on the press. And try to stay as steady as you can through the core, breathing through this. We're really focusing on those postural muscles today, and I know that can be pretty challenging. We've done a lot for shoulders and upper back. 2 more. Breathe through this. 2, 1 left here. 1. And just let yourself round a little bit, shake it out. We're going to do a modified cat-cow. So in this movement, we're going to place our fingertips just behind the ears, and we're going to allow ourselves to round. Tuck your elbows in toward the chest, and then arch, lifting, pulling the elbows back, and tuck back in. Let yourself round. Pull, slightly arch through the spine. Tuck back in. Exhale. As you exhale and pull, think about squeezing the shoulder blades together and working through that mid-back. 2 more here. Breathing deeply. 2, 1 left, 1 left, and 1. Whew. All right, let's give our shoulders a break. We're going to move on to a hip movement. So for this motion, it is more challenging than you think. So give yourself a little bit of a break if it feels pretty challenging. We're going to extend those arms out. Place your hands just behind you for balance, and then lift your chest. Now I want you to imagine that there's a dumbbell on the floor just to the side of your right foot. Now lift your right foot and try to clear that dumbbell, making an arcing pattern back to center. So try to lift that chest, and let's go for 6. 6. And back. 5. And back. That's it. 4. Breathing through this. 3. And as I mentioned, I always find this is way more challenging than it looks. So don't worry if it feels pretty tight through one hip. And back. Let's go over to that left leg. Once again, imagine there's that dumbbell and try to clear it by arcing over. Ready? Here we go. 6. And back. 5. Try to pull your abdominals in. Really, this is a hip flexor exercise, so don't worry too much about your core, but it does help to keep that chest lifted. 2 more here. Breathe through this. 2. 1 left, 1 left, and 1. Ooh, all right, shake up those hips. We're going to take it back to our Z press. So sitting up nice and tall. Elbows at 90, chest lifted. Let's press it up for 10. Here we go. 10, bringing it in and back down. Exhale up. 9. Remember, you're always pulling the elbows and palms slightly back so that you feel those upper back muscles really working hard here. And again, I know those upper back muscles are getting tired. We will give it a little bit of a break with that cat-cow coming up next. Breathe through this. 4 more. 4. You've got it. 3. That's it. 2. One more here. And 1. Ooh, all right, shake out those shoulders. Let yourself round. Breathing through it. Give your back a little bit of a break. And let's place those fingertips just behind the ears. Pull the elbows back. And let's begin with the tuck in. So tuck in toward the chest. Lift and arch slightly. That's it. Tuck in. Lift and pull the shoulder blades back. Tuck in, allowing yourself to round. Pull the shoulder blades back. Breathing through it. 2 more here. 2. 1 left, 1 left. And 1. Ooh, all right, 1 more of our hip health movement. So 6 per side. Again, we want those legs extended out. Just walk your hands behind you. Lift your chest. Pull the shoulders back. Start with that right leg. Ready? For 6. 6. Back to center. 5. You got it. 4. Breathe through. 3. 2. Try to keep your chest lifted here, but if you need to round a little bit, that's okay. And 1. Left leg for 6. Let's go. 6. And I promise we're just doing 2 sets of each of these. I know everything is getting a little tight here. And we'll lower down to a bridge after this. We're going to give our hips a little bit of a break. 3 more. 3. 2. 1 left here. 1. Walk it back. So we're going to lay down on that mat. Feet on the floor. I always like to have my feet off the mat. I find that provides a little bit better stabilization. Feet shoulder width apart. Place your hands on either side and then drive your hips up. As you drive your hips up, lift your glutes, squeeze the butt cheeks, and from here we're going to do a toe raise. So lift your toes, keeping your heels driven into the floor, back down. Lift the toes. Try not to let your hips droop. Really squeeze through the front of the shin as you lift the toes, but try to keep those hips elevated so that you're working through the glutes the entire time. 3 more here. 3. 2. 1 more, 1 more. 1. And then lower those hips down. From here, we're going to take this into a pelvic tuck. So for this move, feet flat on the floor, knees bent, just find a comfortable upper body position, letting your shoulder blades drop down. From here, we're going to take a deep breath in. And as we exhale, we're going to push the lower back into the floor. So you'll feel your pelvis slightly lift as you drive your lower back down. As you exhale, it's a slow, controlled exhale, and you're holding that push the entire time. Ready? Deep breath in. Exhale and push your lower back down into the floor, letting that tension build. Exhale. Release. So as you feel there's no more air to push out of your lungs, that's when you release your hips. Ready? Let's inhale. Exhale, push the lower back down into the mat. Slowly exhaling, keeping that tension building, allowing the abs to contract and release. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, push the lower back down into the mat, breathing through this and release. Once more, deep breath in. Exhale. Allowing that contraction through the abdominals and release. Just shake out those hips, bring those knees in toward your chest and just let yourself rock side to side, giving that lower back a little bit of a break as we head into our stretches. Gently rocking. And 1 more. And then lower those feet back down to the floor. From here, cross your right leg just over top of your left. You know, if you find in this stretch that your head lifts off the mat, you can always add a small pillow or folded up towel. Take your hands and place them just behind the back of that left leg and let the head, neck, and shoulders drop down. Stretching through that glute. Angle your feet so that you're pushing your heels out and pulling your toes in toward you. And try to relax your shoulders as much as you can. I know that when the shoulders are holding the back of the leg, they will come off the back, but try to let them sink down toward the mat as much as possible. Nice big inhale. And exhale. Lower that leg down. Switch over to the other side, crossing left over right. From here, lift up, hold behind the right leg, lower the head back down. And again, try to relax your shoulders, push the heels out, and pull the toes in toward you. By angling through the feet, we can completely take the intensity of a stretch up a notch just by angling the feet slightly without even moving deeper into the stretch. Nice big inhale and exhale. And release, lowering those legs down. Just shake out your hips and then gently lift up, coming to a seated position. We're going to stretch out that lower back. So extending your legs out, just let your feet flop down to the sides and let yourself round here. Walk those hands forward. Let yourself round through the back. And just to achieve a gentle stretch through the lumbar spine or lower back. Deep breath in and out. Once more, deep breath in and out. And slowly come to an upright position. Let's stretch out the adductors, which are the muscles just inside the thighs. Bring the flat sides of your feet together, holding onto your toes. And once again, imagine there's that string pulling your chest up toward the ceiling, sitting up as tall as you can. Just let your knees drop down toward the mat naturally. Breathe in and out. Once again, deep breath in and out. And let yourself round forward and release the spine. Coming up to a cross-legged position or sitting in a chair. Lift the chest, take the outside of your left hand and gently resist against the outside of your left thigh. Or right thigh, that is. Lift the chest, shoulders back. Deep breath in. Exhale. Once more, breathe in. And out. And rotate over to the other side, outside of the right hand, resisting against the left leg. Lift the chest. Again, imagining there's that string pulling you upright. And resist the outside of a hand against the thigh. Deep breath in. And out. Once more, deep breath in. And out. Rotate back to center. Just walk your hands out slightly. Again, letting yourself round. We did give ourselves a lot of postural movements. Kind of shake out those shoulders if you need to. Give yourself that little bit of a break. And then walk those hands in and behind you. Clasping the hands behind, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. And just gently tuck your chin back. Stretching through those pecs. Deep breath in. And out. Once more, deep breath in. And out. Release the shoulders. You can round through your back if you need to. Just place your palms just on top of your thighs and gently pull your chin back. Rotate the chin to look over the right shoulder. Back to center. Look over the left shoulder. Back to center. 4 more here. Exhale. Inhale over to the left. Back to center, 2 more. Just gently rotating through that cervical spine. 1 more. And release. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. We're all done for today. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. See you next week. Thanks for coming, everyone.
Thanks, Amanda.